fix the law, those things will fix themselves.
Yeah,
all right, moving on now. Contrary to apprehension before commencement of the nationwide protests over economic hardship, the exercise took place in an atmosphere of decorum in Lagos State. As such, the state government has expressed appreciation to protesters in Lagos for their peaceful conduct and announcement of an end to their action following the nationwide broadcast by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who praised the leaders of the protests in Lagos, said their collective voice has been heard by the government in demonstration of the commitment of the Lagos State government to continuous engagement with the youths. The governor directed that dialogue over the issue must continue. Jide, relatively peaceful.
Yeah, very peaceful.
Compared to what we had during the NSAS destruction.
You know, life teaches so many lessons. We can see that NSAS taught the governor of Lagos State some lessons in leadership. He clearly handled this matter in a very remarkable way. Much better than a lot of his mates handle it. We are not saying that other governors where strikes didn't and where protests didn't happen did not do well. They all had
way of neutralizing, dousing the tension.
This thing didn't resort to violence. We are not saying that those who did not protest are saints or they are the best Nigerians. Our concern all along had been, can we parade the streets in the name of protest without it degenerating in some parts of the country? That was the fear that some of us had. And as you can see today, in some parts of northern Nigeria, for example, people are desperate to protest because they see it as an opportunity to steal. Look at in Jos, they were targeting the second biggest market in the state. They had to push them back. In Kano, they went to Zuro. Zuro has a lot of big department stores and all that. Beautiful place in Zuro. They wanted to loot the place, and these things these properties belong to private people. Are they the ones who are making you to be hungry? So, but we saw in Lagos,
common sense,
Lagos is a complex place. It's not a space easy to govern. That is one fact. But we must commend Governor Sanwo-Olu because he moved quickly.
Learning from the
ahead of a day before the kickoff of this protest. I'm not going to call it nationwide because at least a quarter of the states in our country didn't get involved in it. So I won't call it nationwide protest. That is, I like the way one of the TV stations called it August protest. I'm not going to call it nationwide because it didn't cut across our country, you know. Maybe my definition of nationwide is wrong, but that is what I've chosen to do. If at least a quarter of the states in our country didn't, more than a quarter didn't get involved. A quarter of 36 is 9 states. More than 9 states didn't get involved. So it's, to me, it's not nationwide. Anybody can say what he likes. So the governor addressed the people. He said, no true Lagosian or friend of Lagos will encourage us to go this route again. That is not who we are. Let us not allow our state to be plunged into chaos again. Let us show the world that Lagos remains a city of resilience, where the voices of its people are heard and respected through peaceful and lawful means. Let us reject any attempt to throw the state into violence. Look at the way he spoke to people. And then the stakeholder engagement
we're all
across different groups in society.
Came out.
You know? So when you make the right moves, you are likely to get the right results. If we simply start back that, we cannot convince these boys. They made up their mind. These boys and girls have made up their mind. Let me just leave them. Whatever I do, they will still protest. We won't have what we had in Lagos. Everybody was afraid for Lagos, because if you look at whether on social media or even physically, the greatest number of people shouting about protests were residents in Lagos. The people stealing in Kano, even attacking mosque to steal rugs. The people attacking churches in Katsina. They are likely not on social media. Lagos is the capital of social media in our country. The highest number of people on social media are residents in Lagos.
The population.
Yet, in spite of the frenetic campaign for the protests to happen, we didn't see protests happen in the manner that we feared. The protesters largely conducted themselves peacefully. Where they were asked to go, they went. Even when they were not, even when they didn't go to where they were asked to congregate, they didn't contravene the law. They didn't break into people's shops. They didn't damage traffic lights in the guise of trying to steal. They didn't attack court premises and steal exhibits taken from criminals. So we saw Lagos show leadership, not in terms of not protesting, but in protesting in the right way, in a peaceful way. We are not after protest. Our fear is the descent to anarchy, the violent combustions that can come with protest. That was what people feared. And you cannot blame them with what we are seeing in Kano and some other places. What, for example, how do you, for example, how do you explain people carrying flags of Russia all over? Do they even know the meaning of what they are doing?
I don't understand that thing. I still want to wrap my head around
carrying flags.
I don't get.
In Lagos, they didn't do that. What is the meaning of as if the nonsense that we saw over this zanga was not enough? You are now carrying the flag of Russia. Do you know the meaning?
To do what?
Because you've seen people in Niger Republic and Mali do it.
That Putin to come and colonize us.
Oh, this Putin and the Russians, the Russians care about religion, for example. So Putin come and colonize us as a people. Is that what these misguided boys, is that what they want? Do they know the meaning? It's just that people asking for military rule at this stage.
No, they asked.
People who do not. I see people who did not. They were too young.
They asked.
When the military, when Abacha and his goons were ruling Nigeria and they were killing innocent people.
Killer squads.
How did we lose Yaradua? Shehu Musa Yaradua.
Rejected.
Because he showed a desire to contest for presidency. These stories have not been told to some of them by their parents.
Alex Ibru, Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
This constitutional lawyer.
Yes.
Onogorua,
his first son, Toyin.
Look at what they did to him. Because Onogorua was
never recovered.
Onogorua was told, don't go into the government. You know, don't go into the government. He didn't agree. By the time he got into it and he wanted to come out, that was when they now descended on him. These stories, these boys, some of them were not born. A 21-year-old boy. Somebody saw a video of one activist talking and talking. He now said, "Is this the new Ghani?" I said, "Are you out of your mind? You are comparing this one to Ghani. Do you know Ghani?" I mean,
Chief.
Stories have to be told. It's unfortunate that at a point we even stopped history from being taught. How will people know about their country? How will people know their civic responsibilities? So Lagos actually did very well, and I think that I'm particularly happy, not because protests took place, but in a dignified manner.
I think the first, second day, so I still saw them at the Ganifa Park, and they were still, talking. So as at Sunday yesterday, I saw some hoodlums descending on some people that are assembled at that same park.
They don't want protest.
Say they don't want
those boys.
Boys in Lagos. So
no, the thing is that before he comes in, the thing is for the area boy, if you block roads
daily
and they are unable to move around, a lot of them are conductors, and they are unable to move around, and this their daily
settlement.
They cannot collect it. They will get hungry. They will be breaking people's heads up and down. So they were thinking that I hope there people are not trying to force us into answers.
Before again, after the president's speech.
Well, it's not right, sir.
I hope that is true. I hope that was true anyway. I hope it wasn't state sponsored anyway. Now,
nobody said it's state sponsored, but those guys descended.
They can sponsor themselves.
It's true.
They can sponsor themselves.
I hope that is true anyway. Now, let me please say this. If I miss your question, please bring me back. It is time to call on the president to act decisively in Kano. I will say it again. To act decisively in Kano. See, the fight for the soul of Africa by external factors, I think the game is on seriously. Our neighbors were once under the, let me use the very common word, the colony of French. France was that. Now, they've kicked out France. Russia is taking control of that place. During the Cold War era, you know, it was a two divide. Those who are anti-West and those who are pro-West. France and the entire, lineup, they are the Western guys. And Russia belongs to the, the other bloc. And they are playing, they see, the world, they are playing game, when they tell us that the international relations space is an hypothetical construct, they know what they are saying.
Okay.
No, please.
Let me pay some bills.
Okay, please.
I'll be right back after this timeout. Please, we'll take this, brother. We'll be right back after this timeout. Please stay with us.
You know that President Bola Tinubu has approved the suspension of import duties and tariffs on rice, maize and other essential food items for the next 5 months. The President has also approved the suspension of import duties on pharmaceutical raw materials and equipment. This will help bring down the prices of food and drugs across the country. All hands are on deck.
Work together to minimize the impact of floods and associated waterborne diseases like cholera by ensuring the following: clear your drains and waterways. Don't dump refuse in the waterways and canal. Don't walk or drive through flood waters. Do not defecate in the open. Plant trees to protect your property and the environment. Don't drink flood waters. Collaborate at regional, state, local government and community levels to fight the menace of floods. Keep your environment clean always. Climate change is real. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation.
Imagine a world where your potential isn't limited by your bank account, where your financial dreams can become reality. That world is here with the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation scheme, Credico. Credico is one of President Tinubu's initiatives designed to put the power of consumer credit in the hands of working Nigerians. Here to help you achieve your goals, whether it's providing for your family or expanding your home or business. Visit www.credico.ng today for details. This is the renewed hope.
Quality wires and cables. Come and come back, light up your life. Come and want to light up your house. Come and want to give you better. Come and next to ordinary wire. Come and cables fever. Come and wires fever. Come and quality. Come and durable. Come and cable. Come and cables fever. Come and wires fever. Come and quality. Come and durable. Come and cable. Everybody come and see. Home and wires, wonder things. Brother, sister, uncle, auntie, go get your own. Come and wires, come and cables, come and quality, come and durable, come and cable. Come and wires, come and cables, come and quality, come and durable, come and cable.
Home and wires and cable. Great quality.
now with the new look. Relief is coming. More wages, reduced costs. Nigeria's national minimum wage is now 70,000 naira and it will be reviewed every 3 years. The federal government will commence immediate implementation and state governments are being encouraged to follow suit. With the presidential CNG initiative, transport costs are coming down. Are you a car owner or a transporter? Visit www.pci.gov.ng to find out how you can benefit from switching to CNG. This is the renewed hope.
Thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Anger reaching you live from Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. And Kolawole Johnson, you were making a point before we went.
I was saying that for people to be so, it won't just start for somebody to, or for tailors to be sewing Russian flag. Let's for me, I don't just take things on the surface. Yeah, I look at things beyond the surface by my training.
This is pure madness.
So we should address that immediately. In fact, I can afford to leave the protest elsewhere and address that one. So for me, it will be a call on the president to deal decisively with Kano now. If you need to declare curfew, whatever we need to do, stop whatever is it in Kano. We mustn't have that again. Now, let me move ahead. Lagos will always show the example. In the days of doing impact assessment for a world organization, Lagos was always leading. Look at all the indices, And in this one too, I think what worked more, or what worked in Lagos was not just the engagement. It was also the historical perspective, the fear of the past. So fear was there that if we go violent, will something else happen? That was there. Then two, the governor engaged much more earlier. And there's something he has done now that I think is very commendable. I said, oh, you have stopped. Thank you. However, we even want to open additional lines of engagement so we can engage you further. And they release mobile numbers of members of executive council, commissioners in charge of those different. Awesome.
Brilliant.
Awesome. And now you can reach them directly.
They are not prepared to rest on their
hands. So which shows that, we are not asking you to stop for we are not asking you to stop for fun. In fact, we want to talk to you now to address these issues. And I think I don't want to say that the FG should take a cue from this, but the FG should also be looking at ways of ensuring that we do stakeholders management, not necessarily the protester alone. There are different stakeholders, different groups. They can map them into different units, and you engage them directly from time to time.
Especially some other people want even the media to engage Mr. President.
That's what I'm saying. See,
Mr. President,
we talked about
let's do stakeholders management. See, we can do this stratification. You can get this, group into different groups, and you engage. It doesn't have to be only when he's giving us a national address. I keep saying this. What happens to quarterly review? If we cannot do monthly review, at least let's do this.
Quarterly interministerial review.
Now, I should be expecting a situation where the president was, okay, things are critical now. You can't be meeting every week for fake. They can dedicate one of those weeks, either the second week or so, to be review of what you have done in the past month. So that at least they can make news from that. It will go out. That
because
in the past month, this is the mileage you have done.
Things that they are doing, people are not aware.
At all.
Yes.
Somebody watched.
Bosun?
No.
Okay.
Somebody watched Bomitu Jojo
on Friday,
and he sent me a message. This guy, you mean they've done all of this? For example, the number of people who are stagnated in that Ministry of Interior, and they had to promote
for years.
It's unprecedented.
For years, for several years.
Yes, that is.
Some were on the same spot for 9 years, 10 years.
That is not what we read. That is not what we
read. You don't read that.
No, the thing is, see, people may not make headlines, But you, if you are determined to get it in the consciousness of people, you are the one who will make up your mind. Wike said something the other day that, look, I will cause people to talk about me. Because when he, that first, what's it called that he had with us, that first media chat, everybody logged on to it, including the people that were not engaged to cover it live. They were forced because that was the issue of that day.
Impact.
So now, if you see, TV time, for example, is a lot of money. But if you want the world to know that this is what you are doing, you should never shy away
from publicity,
from letting people know that this is what you are doing. This is the problem that this government, hold on, please, because this is a critical issue. When we have ministers that sometimes will call, they are reluctant to come and talk about their achievements.
I'm telling you.
So this is a big problem that this administration has. Because I look at some of the things that the president has done that people don't even know about, they don't talk about.
48 minutes.
All we keep talking, they keep saying, oh, he removed subsidy, he did this, he did that. But there are some positive things. And if you are, as a government, you are not aggressive in pushing out that narrative that I've done this, I've done that, nobody will blow that trumpet for you. You have to show aggression to let the world know that, yes, I've done this, I've done that. And I mean well.
The airport now in Abuja, if you are coming from outside.
I missed my way coming here today.
No, you will serve yourself. Number one, Abuja Airport was my first time. I think like 3 months ago was my first time in that Abuja International Airport. I don't believe that this is Nigeria. Well, going forward, instead of you to go through the immigration, you have to, if you're in Nigeria, you have to go through this thing yourself.
I told you that.
And you scan and go. You don't have to go through immigration.
I said the same thing here. I said the same thing here last week. That I've spoken to, and I know that the government has done, some great things in many areas, but unfortunately, they are not out there. But we asked the minister,
look at consumer
and he
credit,
said,
for example.
They don't want to run propaganda. See, listen, today I was coming, I missed my way. Look at what Wike is doing in Abuja. What?
You must miss your way.
Come on. Look at what he's doing in Abuja. In just 1 year.
No matter how much, you must admit.
Everyone knows
the people who hate him say,
no,
it's only resurfacing roads. I said,
yeah.
See,
even the Wuye Bridge is resurfacing of road.
To come here if you're coming from Games Village axis, or from the city gate, just navigating directly to get to. No, the guy has done tremendously well. And I also learned that he did some reform on ground. How he got the money should be another area to study. Do you know that they got that money by sorry, you bank, Shebi, you know that our money will be coming to you. So you can also do something ahead for us.
Yes.
The guy
accessing the funds ahead of time to banks.
Put his brain to work to access funds. So I'm saying that if this is what we have noted, and we even said this one last year, we were in Lagos, and I discussed this, that this government will have a fundamental issue if they don't communicate well, because in terms of perception, they are behind. I said this last year.
The government had this. In terms of infrastructure, you can see roads, what Umahi is doing.
Dave.
You can accuse him of all kinds of things, but when it comes to implementing,
quality of the roads
is top notch.
Look at our third Milan Bridge.
Now, there is one road that is building in the Mambila area. By the time he finishes that road, those people will start treating him like a god, because they had waited and waited. Umahi is building one road for them in the Mambila area. This is a place that I went in Taraba State. They never expected that help will come, but they are doing it. Gradually, big steps have been taken, but a lot of these things people don't know. One of the lessons that this government must pick up from this season, this protest season, is to communicate, and communicate in the right way. they must change their attitude to communication. Any minister who is not prepared to communicate should be fired.
Honestly,
it's as simple as
not
that.
talking. You're just
It's
there.
as simple as that.
Just there, not doing that. Not talking, not
If you are not
doing
prepared
anything.
to communicate,
No, I think it's not about the minister. It's there are
it's about who. then?
engine rooms of government. There are structures that should do this. I'm
Are you saying
that
the ministers should be insulated from
no.
talking to the public? Why are they there?
I'm not saying that. See, internally, is there a mechanism where what have you done this month? Oh yeah, where is there? Do they even do that at all?
No,
number one.
That's why we
Number
talked
two.
about interministerial briefing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying now.
Because
so,
Buhari was
if the
doing that.
structure is there, if the government put that structure in place,
Of course, that's
for there to be-
suggestion.
they'll be
There are some
talking. That's what I'm
ministers I
saying.
don't know them.
What I'm saying is that if the government put the structure for the minister to be briefing us regularly, they will. They can't, they can't abstain
So
from,
some
they
of them,
can't
they
stay
shouldn't
away
even
from
wait.
that.
They shouldn't even wait until they say go and talk. Why should you wait? And some of them, they don't want to talk. The press goes to them saying, okay, we want to see you. They will not come. What kind of ministers are they?
Okay.
I've never seen a generation of ministers reluctant to talk about what they are doing like these present ministers.
Or to talk about the achievement of their principal.
Or both their
Yes.
own and their principal. They
Achievement
are not even ready to talk.
is in units. Those achievements are even with a different ministry.